I am way behind on posting my monthly budget reports, but that doesn't mean we didn't actually do a budget. November's up next. Hi friends, I'm Jen with the Budget Bounce. We use a budget to tell our money what to do, including bouncing debt right out the door. We share our ups and downs from living life on a budget and tackling a $252,000 mountain of stupid debt. If you'd like to follow us on our journey and learn more about living life on a budget, being intentional with your money, and making your money work for you, then click on that subscribe button below and be sure to tap the bell so you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. You can also find me on Instagram, just look for the Budget Bounce. Let's get started and see how we did in November. All right, so here we have our November monthly budget. Let's start with the income we were working with here in the green section. We pulled in some from our sinking funds to cover expenses in those categories, which were holidays, image, and 50th anniversary. That, along with our regular income, put us at $9,039 for November for us to work with. So, in giving, we came in under budget because we didn't spend as much on gifts as we had planned. And then in housing, we were right on target. Our gas and electric was down to $167 from $197 due to a $30 rebate from an energy saving program that we participate in every summer. And then also our mobile devices line item was a lot lower than it's been. And that's because I pulled our monthly phone payments, the actual devices themselves, out and put them in to our debt, which is where they belong. So this is what we are actually paying for the services for the three of us. In transportation, we came in under budget by $30 at $512. We did have an unexpected repair on Matt's car that you can see here, but we didn't spend as much on gas as we planned, so that made up the difference. With food, we came in $115 under total in the groceries and dining combined. I don't think we've ever come in that low before. So we kept our expenses down under $400 for groceries, which is the best we've done since we started in February. And with that, I think that probably I can attribute that to the fact that we had the Thanksgiving dinner that we made in mid-November, and that fed us for about a week after Thanksgiving, which significantly reduced the expenses in this category because all the food for the groceries for the Thanksgiving dinner are actually reflected in the holidays budget. So that's a totally different line item elsewhere on my budget report. So yeah, we came in $115 under in November. In school fees, you can see here that, first of all, I created a new category for Henry in November, and it's because we've been having several expenses related to him, and that's just going to, as he's finishing out high school in the next year and a half, that's going to continue. Little things are going to pop up. And so I want to be able to see them as they're coming up. And so for this month, we have, the total was, we planned on $125 and we spent $125. And that's normally what we put in the sinking fund, which I just ended up not putting anything in the sinking fund. I put it all here. We paid off the last of his school fees for the year. And then also I funded his food service account. Let's see here. Oh, I wanted to talk about this Mathnasium line item. This is a math tutoring center, and back in November, Henry was rocking a solid D in pre-calculus for his junior year, and he was not getting the help that he needs at school. I'm not saying there wasn't help there, it just wasn't what he needed. So we added this starting in December. Actually, I thought we were going to pay it in November, but we didn't end up paying until December. And so, of course, it's January when I'm filming this, and he just got a 76 on a test this week. So that is progress, and we're really excited about that. So moving on to pets, let's see here. We came in over budget here. We had to buy some meds for Bella that I thought we weren't going to have to buy until December. So we cash flowed that since the sinking fund hasn't been replenished after the October pet expenses depleted. 41 over is where we came in for pets. Insurance was right on target at $921. I don't go through all of this because honestly, it's quite boring for most people. But if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm glad to answer any questions if you'd like to talk about all the different things that are listed here. Anyhow, we came in right on target for insurance. So moving on to entertainment, it came in as planned as well. November was the last month that we will have this. I'm sorry, let me change this. I've been meaning to change this to DirecTV. So it's the last month that we are going to have this line item, and we kept it because we were getting a ton of DirecTV services for $25 per month. And that's because Matt had an amazing employee discount for when he worked for AT&T. That employment ended in July, and they notified us in November that the employee discount had ended, and the new bill was going to be, get this, $166 a month and change. Nope. So we are not going to do that. And so we canceled it the next day. I don't know if it was the next day or 2 days later, but we got that email and very quickly we canceled that service. In health, we came in over by $13. I had been paying some of my counseling appointments and prescriptions out of pocket because of our FSA money running low. And I got into a car accident on November 27th that I wanted to be sure that we had FSA funds left in case anything wasn't covered by the auto insurance. And as it happens, there are some things that aren't covered. And so we haven't seen yet the explanation of benefits to know how much we're actually going to have to pay. But we have to pay 15% of what's remaining. It has to do with the ambulance bill, which literally, you guys, they took me up the street. I was right up the street, like maybe 10 blocks from the short blocks from the hospital. And they took me up the street and it cost $1,100. So yeah, that's awesome. All right, so moving on to extras, we have, let's see here. I knew I was going to be shopping for the holidays, so of course there's a line item there for that. We didn't have anything for Owen's Place. For Amazon, we didn't have as much as I thought we were going to have. Same thing with holidays. I added that line item to allow for groceries and other things that we were buying that were not gifts. And then we had my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So that's in here. In Imogen Cosmetics, I had an item, and honestly, I cannot remember what this was for. And then also, I decided to take advantage of Black Friday to get some new clothes for us, and that included a new coat for Matt. So I budgeted $400 total, and then it came out to $430. So in all, we actually came in under what I expected to spend by $322. In the crap I forgot about that category, we didn't have anything come up, so that's fantastic. Then in envelopes, we came in $11 over total. We had some miscellaneous expenses that added up in November, and so in total we spent $241 out of envelopes. Remember, most of these are electronic envelopes. Okay, then I also added a new category called the budget bounce. I used to have that just as a line item in extras, and I decided to do this because I'm taking the budget bounce to a new level and in a new direction in 2019. And I've been spending a lot of time planning things out and developing content for this year. And I actually talked about it in my 2019 goals video, and I'll go ahead and put a card up here in the corner for you. So you can watch that if you haven't already seen it. But these expenses that you see here were for sales I was waiting for Black Friday for on a course that I wanted to purchase. And also I took advantage of an Amazon sale and purchased a new SD card for my camera. And it's 128 gig and I got it for $30. So I was pretty excited about that. If we had more flexibility in our budget, I would have bought 2 or 3 of them actually, so that I have multiples available. But anyhow, I just bought one because that's all we had. So we came in $1.86 over, and that's due to tax. So it was $30 plus tax for the SD card. Okay, moving on to sinking funds. So we came in at $685, which is right where we planned to be here. And we didn't end up needing to put anything else in the 50th anniversary fund, and we didn't put anything in Henry's school because we'd spent it already up top in Henry's category. We skipped holidays since I was already spending for them by November, and we also didn't put anything into the pet expense since we spent all of that and then some. So we started some of these up again in January, just so you know, but in November, this is where we were at with sinking funds. So we had $4,296 in the in total in the sinking funds when the month ended, and that includes our emergency fund that is $1,000 here. All right, and in the debt category, I made some changes in November. So here you can see that first of all, let's start with this at the top. This is all debts that we've already paid off, okay? And then you can see here that I added Matt's broken phone, Matt's phone, and Jen's phone. So I added all three of our devices here. And oh, by the way, so that's because we were making payments on all three of these in November. And we paid off 2 debts in November. So that's these top 2 here that are now at 0. Fancy was a medical bill from that we'd been working on, and then we got Matt's broken phone paid off. So the situation there is it was just past the warranty when it literally just went haywire. I saw it lying on the counter when a notification came in and lit it up while I was making dinner. It was just off to the side of the stove. So it was working like normal. And an hour later after dinner, during which time it continued to lie on the counter untouched in the exact same spot, half of the screen went nuts and Matt couldn't use it. That was in like October or November of 2017. And we've been paying for 2 phones for Matt ever since. So this one had to go, and it's gone. So we got that paid off. So 2 new debts paid off in December. I was excited because we hadn't paid anything off, actually finished anything since August when we finished off Discover. So yeah, that put us at 11 debts that we've paid off through November. Everything else that we paid minimums on. And then, you know, you can see that we currently are not paying on several credit cards. I'm sorry, that we are currently paying on several credit cards and my 401k loan. We have Matt's private student loan, which is the $55 one. We have Matt's child support down here, and we have a personal loan with my parents. So along with our mobile devices and that last medical bill that was up there for hybrid. So hybrid was the next one that we were targeting to pay off as of when November ended. We ended up going $69. Oh, let me just show here. We paid $3,206 to debt total, which was $145 more than we planned. And we ended up doing, so in total down here, this is our actual column. You can see this is our actual column. We had 9109 come in. I'm sorry, we had 9,039 come in and we spent 9109. And the reason why that happened is because of those new budget categories that I added. I forgot to make sure they were included. I got them over here for when I was planning, but I forgot to make sure they were over here in the actuals. And then I ended up going over. So we are slowly whittling away at this, but it needs to go faster. We have big plans for paying this down in 2019, so it could get really exciting, guys. Overall, we paid off, let me get down here where you can see the math. Overall, we paid off $2,427 in November, and our total debt that had been paid down through November was $17,080 in 10 months of being on a budget. So that was our November, and by the way, we're now sitting at that point at $234,387. So that was our November budget. So I will have the December budget report up for you next week. So then I will be officially caught up on all of our budget reports. And then starting in 2019, which is already here obviously, but in 2019, I will be posting Budget With Me videos to show how I set up for the next month. So that'll be new. We didn't do that for the whole first 12 months, but we are going to start doing that with the February budget. So at the end of January, I will have a video that will show me setting up for February. So I hope all is going well on your journey to debt freedom and financial independence. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you being here. That's all I've got for you today. Until next time.